Hi, you guys. This is Renata. I'm going to attempt to answer a question that someone left on one of my videos. And the question says, I have a question for you. What advice would you give to targeted individuals who have a very poor social support system in their lives? Being put in this program makes it extremely hard for us to find friendships or romantic companions. Sometimes the loneliness is overbearing and I feel a deep heaviness in my heart. Now, this is a common problem in our community. There are so many people who are without any means of support, who may at one time have had a strong support system. They may have had family around them, they may have had very good friends, um, people from work, people from their church community, and they may have had a strong, healthy support system and strong, healthy friendships, and maybe even strong, healthy relationships. But with being a targeted individual, in most cases, suddenly you wake up and all of that is gone. People start to fall off one by one. And that can be extremely hard. So I very much sympathize with you for the person who asked this question. Also, it came to my mind that there are a lot of people in the world, targeted or not, who may not have strong support systems, who may not have friends, who may live in isolation and kind of wonder why. And maybe these people are targeted and may not even know it. Because when I look back on my own life, I never formed strong friendships, never really felt like I wanted to because of the social anxiety that I would suffer, just trying to fit in or deal with crowds and things like that. I would suffer extreme anxiety. So when I look back, maybe this is why. Maybe this is why I felt like I couldn't connect with people because of this targeting and me at that time not even know that I was targeted. So I thank you for bringing this question up because hopefully my response will help a lot of people, and it's very important for anyone experiencing this to know that you're not alone, that almost every targeted individual has lost friends and companions, and um, their social network has just been torn apart like most other aspects of life. But we can get through it. We can get through it. We just have to put our heads together and figure out, how to go about our life in spite of what's going on. So I want to share with you some of the things I came up with, and I want to give you a resource that I found online. I'm not sure if you're a senior citizen, but the resource that I have, it applies to senior citizens. Okay, and I'll share that with you in a few minutes. Okay, so for what I want to say first is that it's very important for us to connect to the source, the Most High God, okay, the creator of all things and everything. Many people who have a relationship with God, they feel God's presence, and feeling God's presence in our everyday lives can help us to overcome loneliness because we know that He's always there and we actually feel His presence and He guides us through situations like this. Okay, so God is always at the center of everything for me. So that's going to be first on my list is to connect with the source. Okay. And with that being said, if you are a person who is into church, church may be a good resource for you. There are activities that happen in church. They have different social circles. They have different areas that you can get involved. Maybe you want to get involved in the choir. Maybe you want to get involved in the usher board. Maybe you like to be a deacon, or maybe you just like to go to church to hear the sermon and listen to the music. And a lot of times after the service, they'll have a little social thing where they'll have coffee and donuts, and you can meet other parishioners. Okay, so that might be an option for you. Um, I would also say believe that a targeted person can have healthy friendships and healthy relationships. One of the main things that happens with targeted individuals is that we learn that we cannot trust. It is very hard to trust people because of all the betrayals that have happened. And that's totally understandable. but we don't want to get to the point where we're paranoid of every single person. And we have to allow our logic to kick in to know that every single person on this planet is not a perpetrator. Every single person on this planet will not be turned against you or cannot be turned against you, because some people just simply won't go along with it. And so we have to pray for those people to enter into our lives, those people who cannot be compromised, and just believe that there are some good people out there. And just know that you are worthy of meeting those good people and being in relationships with some of those good people. Okay? And I'm not saying be in a relationship with all of them. I'm definitely not saying that. But there is someone out there for you. I'll say that. There is someone out there for you. But I would say before the relationship, work on building strong, happy, healthy friendships. Okay? Rather than a relationship, jumping straight to a relationship, work on building friendships. If you have friendships already, if you have relationships with family members or neighbors, or even casual relationships, hi, how you doing, good morning, things like that, try to strengthen what you already have, even if it's one person, even if it's over the telephone, even if it's over the internet. Try to strengthen what you already have, because a lot of times we meet people through people. So if you strengthen what you have, number one, that person can become your support system, and you can become theirs as well. We should always reciprocate good intentions. Okay, in other words, if someone is being good to you, you return that, and you be good to them as well. If their support for you, you make sure you're a good support system for them. If they're a good friend to you, you make sure you reciprocate that, and you're also a good friend to them. Okay, and you never know who you will meet through that person. So try to work on what you have. If you have a cousin or an aunt or an uncle or a parent who you're still in touch with, maybe call them a little more often. You don't have to bring up targeting. You don't have to try to force this subject on them, because one thing we have to realize, and that God is showing me, is that we are more than targeted individuals. We are people who once led a productive life, and we want to get back to that. We don't have to, that does not have to be our only identity. You're someone's mother, someone's father, someone's friend, someone's neighbor, someone's teacher, someone, whatever. Okay, you are more than a targeted individual. So you don't have to wear that label with every interaction that you have. You don't have to tell everybody about this. If you choose to, that's fine. But just know that a lot of times the subject matter is too deep for people who don't understand, and it will run people away many times. So if you just want to have a friendship with somebody, just have a friendship. Just have a friendship. I'm not saying never talk about it, because I have told people in my family, I have told, people outside of my family. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not. Someone accused me of that, by the way. They said on a video, I said, don't talk about it. I don't remember saying that. That's probably the opposite of how I feel, because I always encourage people to talk about your targeting, but just in the right setting, in the right format. You don't have to tell each and every single person that you come in contact with. I don't do that. I have chosen the people that I wanted to know about my targeting. Well, I tell everybody on YouTube, I tell everybody on my call, but in my personal life, I have chosen the particular family members who I wanted to know about this. I have chosen other people in my life who I wanted to tell about this. But everyone I come in contact with, no, I do not. Okay, so think about that, because sometimes the subject matter will run people away. I do know people who have friends who, I know a particular lady who has friends who she says that she has never talked to targeting about. She does many activities with them, and these are people from her church mainly. and a few outside of her church. But she says that she does not feel targeted by them at all, and her friendship with them has been going on for years. She has no problems. She doesn't. She keeps it separate, and that's what I'm saying. Just kind of think about that before you put the subject matter on everybody, because reality, it scares some people away. If people start to believe you and sympathize with you, they will probably end up compromised. So, just separate it, and just if you have a friend or you meet someone nice, just let it be. Just let it be a friendship. Okay, so strengthen. Let's see, what else was I going to say? Think about your interests. What are you interested in? Whatever you're interested in, try to put yourself in those environments. So think about the things that you really enjoy, or the things that you wish you could become involved in, or the things that you used to enjoy that you might want to try again. Think about those things and try to put yourself in those environments. If you're a male, or it could be a female who enjoys cars, you might want to go to a car show. You might want to go get involved with doing some kind of mechanics on cars. If you enjoy sports, you might want to go to sporting events. Even if you have to do these things alone, don't ever let doing something alone discourage you from doing it. If you enjoy it and you want to do it, then do it. Now, with that being said, make sure that you're being safe, and that you're not going into maybe an unsafe neighborhood by yourself, or going out late at night by yourself. So you want to take your safety precautions always. But, sometimes we have to do things alone, and you never know. When you get there, you may meet someone. You never know. Okay. Um, There are online groups. I used to do writing groups because I always enjoyed writing. And so I joined a creative writing online group, and that was years ago, so I don't remember the name of it, or I would give it to you guys. But there are people in those online forums that you can meet, and I used to chat with people, nobody who I kept in touch with, but any small interaction is still an interaction. Okay, because we are social beings, and we need to meet people, and we need to interact, and we need to talk to people. So even if you don't have what you're desiring right now, which is long-term friendships or long-term relationships, um, a short interaction with someone online, over the telephone, at the coffee shop, that's still an interaction, and it's better than nothing. I used to take the dog to the dog park on Sundays before my call, not sit there and just jot down things I wanted to talk about on my call while the dog would run around and play with other dogs. And occasionally there would be some nice people that would come to the park, and they'd say their pleasantries, and I'd say my pleasantries, and that was very satisfying for me. And then the dog and I would take a walk by the water, which is right there by the park, and that was nice for me. So whatever you can do, start out small, and you never know, it may turn into something. There are plenty of things in most of our communities. You may want to go to a dog race. I know there's a horse track not too far from here. Did I say dog race? Horse race. um, Beaches, parks, outdoor festivals, anything like that. If you're a senior citizen, check with your local senior center. There are activities that they do there, and you may not have to be a resident there. You may just be able to join in. There's things like bingo and card games, and dances and music, and all kinds of things that you can get involved with. I love doing the outdoor festivals. Also, there's a kite, what do you call that? They have like a kite festival, I guess you would call it, that comes here annually, and we try to go to that. Just go buy a little kite from the dollar store or something, and we try to go to that, and it's fun. You can fly your kite on your own. We do that sometimes. Um, let's see. There's some other things I said I was going to give you. Okay, so I was looking at this website. Now, I don't know if this person who asked this question is a senior citizen or not, but I know that there are a lot of seniors in the TI community, so I want to give this information. This website I found is called seniorplanet.org, and it gives suggestions on ways to connect with other people. It says take a dance class, join a gym, and the gym is an excellent um, piece of advice because gyms have a bunch of different classes, and as you guys know, there's a bunch of people at the gym. And even if you're not really in shape where you can physically do things, I know a lot of people have different ailments and pains and things like that, and I'm one of those people that don't get very active when I go to the gym. But there are things that you can do there. You can get on the treadmill and walk as slow as you need to walk. You could get on one of the stationary bikes and go as slow as you need to go. You can swim. You can go into the sauna or the jacuzzi. You can join one of their classes. I know their aerobics classes was way too fast for me, but I would just go in there and do what I could do. I didn't try to keep up with them. I would just do whatever I could do. But you can meet people that way. Okay. Um, Take a continuing ed class, which I've done that. I've taken a night class. Attend free events like museum openings. And I'll say on that, just about everything that costs in the community, like this website is saying, museums and zoos and different things like that, they usually have a free day a month. So call the place that you're interested in and find out if they have a free day. It's usually a Tuesday, but it could be any day depending on where you live. So call, and again, don't be afraid to go to these things by yourself if that's what you need to do. Okay, because at least you're amongst people. And also, I would say, don't worry about like if you want to go to the zoo or things like that. Don't look at that like, oh, that's a child activity because I love doing those kind of things. I go to those type of things. I go to zoos. I go to parks. I go, wherever I want to go, I go. Okay. Go to a farmer's market. It says always a lot of people at farmer's market. Bingo. I think I mentioned that. I used to go to bingo. Um, Volunteer. That's an excellent way to meet people, is to volunteer. And there may be the same people. If you volunteer, you may run into the same people often. So that's a good thing. Work on a political campaign. Visit your local senior center or library. You can also volunteer at places like that. Join a band, community theater, knitting group, or something creative. And I will say, the creativity I love. I love doing anything creative. I'm personally doing a bunch of DIYs, teaching myself different crafts because I'm really into crafting right now. And I'm trying to learn how to paint on canvases. And I'm just pulling up videos and I'm going for it. I painted 3 wall paintings last week. They came out decent, so I hung them up. So anything that you can do like that. Okay, just explore your creative side because God has given each and every one of us a creative side. And it doesn't have to be the things that I'm doing, it could be whatever you enjoy. Okay, join a community garden, and it says take a cooking class. All of those things can be good. I will also say get a pet if you can. I don't know if pets are allowed where you are, but if you can get a pet, that would be great. They're great companions. They get you out in the community. You take them for a walk, and you can really meet people that way as well. Okay, so also this website says that you can chat with others on AARP's online community groups. Okay, so Google that. Google AARP community groups. Let's see, I'll click on this link and see where it takes me. Okay, so it's community.aarp.org. Okay, so community.aarp.org. I have not explored the website, but according to the website that we were just on, it says that they have like a community thread. Okay, so go in there and chat with people and meet people if you're a senior. Let me go back to my notes here. This is what I want to end with. You need to just put yourself in situations where there are people. Okay, create what it is you are desiring, and everything else will fall in place. When it comes to relationships, know what it is that you're looking for. Set your standards. Okay, so when you meet someone in a romantic way, you will already know what you're looking for. Do not lower your standards. Whatever your standards are, those are your standards. Don't lower them for anyone. Okay, now, yeah, you might accept a thing or two that's not on your list, but make sure it's something, height or something like that. Okay, say you want somebody 6 foot, but you meet somebody 5'2". That might be something that you can accept. Okay, that's not gonna hurt you in any kind of way. But don't compromise on those important things out of being lonely. Okay, never put up with any forms of abuse just because you're lonely and it's a relationship and I can make it work and he'll change or she'll change. No, they won't. It'll only get worse. So set your standards high and keep them there. Okay, and pray on it. Just know that there is someone out there for you. You are very deserving of a relationship. You are very deserving of love. You are very deserving of a friendship. And this situation is what it is. It has nothing to do with you per se. Nothing. It doesn't take away from your character. It doesn't mean that you're not a good person because you're not meeting people. No, it's all by design, and we as targeted individuals, we understand that. So, just know that you are worthy and that you will meet someone, you will meet friends, and you will eventually find a relationship. But don't go out looking for it. It'll come to you, or he'll come to you, or she'll come to you if you're a man. Um, and once you do meet someone, even as a friend, then once you get close enough, they'll become your support system because you asked about support system. So once you meet someone and you guys form a close friendship, they will become your support system. Okay, and if it's the opposite sex, they may even become your life partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. So just know that it is possible, that not everyone is bad, because they are truly not, and that the Lord will send you someone. So just pray on it, okay? I hope this was helpful. Thank you for listening. Please thumbs up this video. Leave your comments in the comments section. Leave any kind of advice that you may have for people to meet other people, any kind of social situations that they can put themselves in, or if you do have friends that are, if you're a targeted individual and you have friends, and it has been good friendships or good relationship, then please leave your comments on how you met them and any advice that you might have. Okay? Thank you for listening.